Hello. Excuse me. Hello, Alia. Hello, Victor. Thank you for joining us today for our webinar. We will get started in just a few minutes, right on the hour. Hi, Ejam. It's great to see you. Welcome, Jessica. Thank you for hopping on our webinar today. All right, it is 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. We are going to get started in just a few moments. Welcome, Hamza. Welcome, Adam. Thank you for jumping on. All right, this is exciting. We are going to be live streaming this webinar on Facebook as well. And we will get started here. Just one moment. Ian, nice to see you. All right, now that I've been made host again, I'll turn on my camera. Hello, everybody. Good morning for me, at least. I'm happy to see you all hop on and join me for our webinar about letters of recommendation today. I am Jeff. My name is Jeff, and I'm one of the rotations advisors here at AMO. And I typically help our new students and graduates, find their clinical rotations and advise them on, what the best steps and what they should be doing on their route to residency match. So what we're going to do is I do have a quick presentation to show you all, just to give you a little insight on AM opportunities and what we do. And then we will be discussing more in depth about the letters of recommendation and answering any questions that you may have about them. If you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A section, and during the Q&A portion of this presentation, I will go ahead and address those questions with you. Otherwise, let's get started. So who is AM Opportunities and what are we? AM Opportunities creates U.S. clinical experiences for medical students and graduates globally. So that means we do have students and graduates coming in from all over the world and in all these different countries just to get their USCEs or U.S. clinical experiences and their LORs. Our services and online platform make it easy for U.S. hospitals and clinics to open their doors to you as the large U.S. and international communities. How AMO helps, and one of the biggest things that I always like to highlight is that you get one-on-one world-class support, either from an advisor like me, or after you book your rotation, you actually get your help from the AMO coaches who will be dedicated to helping you even during your rotation and after. AM Opportunities offers over 270 clinical sites and has partnered with over 40 universities to provide you this network of clinical experiences. So what is a clinical experience and what are the different types, you may be asking? You will likely know that there are hands-on and observership experiences. Hands-on where you will be able to interact with the patients, participate in those non-invasive procedures, and practice those clinical skills hands-on. Observerships are what we consider more hands in pocket, where you'll be shadowing the physician, observing their procedures, and then participating in active case presentations, and then practicing diagnoses. Typically, the experiences are also split into cores and electives, cores being the family medicine, pediatrics, psychiatry, internal medicine, surgery subjects, and then the electives being cardiology, urology, dermatology, radiology subjects. And there are vastly more ranging throughout whatever specialty you may be looking for, and we do offer those programs as well. So what is the benefit of taking a USC or a clinical experience in the United States? Well, one, you get to build your resume or your CV, as we call it, with valuable US healthcare experience, which you certainly need if you are going to match for residency. We will also get to learn those letters of recommendations from the U.S. physicians that we will be talking about, expanding your network of doctors and other students and graduates with you along this path, and forming those long-lasting connections. We also offer virtual experiences on top of a hands-on or an observership experience. And these virtual options are very helpful in that you don't even need to travel to the US to attend one of our USCEs virtually. You'll still get to earn the same kind of LOR that you would earn if you were to be in person, but this really helps you save on cost, and especially if travel might be difficult from your country at a certain time, or it might be difficult to obtain that visa. This would be a very good way for you to still earn the LOR or gain that experience so that you don't miss anything on your way to becoming a doctor. About 93% of US providers are expecting to invest in real-time telemedicine within the next 10 years. So this already tells us that the trends for medicine are going towards telehealth and those virtual options, making it easier to for those doctors and providers to connect with their patients, even if it may be difficult to reach them personally. So at this time, I'm actually going to jump out of my presentation here and go into our website, our app site, where we can show you how to log in and view the website. So one moment, please. I shall share my screen. Alrighty. So once you log in, this will be your dashboard view. Currently, you see that I have no current active applications right now, but as you start browsing through our website, finding those programs that you are interested in attending and applying for them, you will see those applications here. Right away, you'll also be able to view our list of advisors. You'll see Mr. Handsome right here. And you can contact us at any time if you have any questions, or if you just need help with what to do next. To begin your search, you'll go up to the top search button here, and right away you do see, oh, looks like we have 289 total programs that you can choose from. What I want to really highlight is how easy it is to narrow down your search based on whatever medical specialty you may have. You see, we have anesthesiology, cardiology, dentistry even, all the way down to urology and vascular surgery. So whatever your specialty may be, we will likely have an option for you. You can filter even further by location and whether you are looking for that hands-on observership or virtual options. Each of the program pages, once you click in, will give you in-depth detail on what to expect during the rotation and some of the requirements that you'll need in order to reserve these experiences. As you scroll down even farther, the tentative schedule for that program will be listed. A general map of the area that you'll be located in is also provided. And if you really wanted to see what other people are saying or what other students and graduates may have said from their own experiences, we do offer the reviews at the very bottom of the page. So to apply, it's very simple. You just come to this box. You'll see the price of the rotation, the duration of the rotation, and then you select your rotation type and the month that you want to rotate in. You will notice that most of our programs, 99% of our programs, will be 4 weeks in length. However, we are able to be flexible and potentially request for special dates if that is required. As you create your profile and complete all of the information, we always recommend that you upload your CV and a photo of your passport. This helps us, as you begin your applications, more quickly process those applications so that you can gain acceptance or gain approval. And then the next step would then be to submit payment and book your rotations. If you had any further questions about our app site or how to navigate it, please do not hesitate to reach out to an advisor like me, and we will be able to walk you through how to use the app site. So for now, we'll go back into our presentation. I do have a few more slides before we kind of jump right into those letters of recommendation that we that we want to talk about. One moment. All right. And I do see a couple of hands going up, but if you wouldn't mind holding off until we reach that Q&A section, I will answer all of your questions. And if you do have that question burning in your mind, you can type it out in the Q&A section on our Zoom chat here. And again, here is our list of advisors. Mr. Handsome here, Jeff T, is likely going to be your best bet at answering all of your questions. So you can reach out to him or me rather at jeff@amopportunities.org. We are also available on WhatsApp as well. So if that is an easier form of communication for you, let us know and we can reach out via WhatsApp. Once you book your rotation, you will be assigned an AMO coach who will be dedicated to making sure that your experience goes unhitched and that you are prepared to arrive and rotate with us. They will help you with all of your enrollment assistance, making sure that all of your documents are provided properly. And then they can also make recommendations for any living and travel accommodations as you prepare to come to the United States. So what we've all been waiting for, the letters of recommendation. They are all merit-based, so you will be earning your letters of recommendation. The letters are extremely valuable and important for your residency match application. Some programs will offer their LORs on a university or hospital letterhead. However, that is not even the most important part of the LOR anymore. Today in 2022, one of the biggest factors in a letter of recommendation is actually the content that is written on it, not necessarily where the letterhead is coming from or where that letter is coming from, but it is what is written about you, about your performance and what that physician has learned about you during your time with them. So how should you go about earning these LORs and communicating with your preceptor in earning this? Well, first off, you want to engage with your preceptor right away and just communicate with them early on about your hopes and about your hopes on wanting to earn that letter of recommendation and what you expect from the experience. And again, just a reminder, the letters of recommendations are possible to be earned in both in-person and virtual rotations. And again, even for those virtual options, your best bet is to perform well and gain that favor with the preceptor. And then you will gain the same strength of an LOR as an in-person one. And you can see in our 2022 match rate, students and graduates who have taken an AMO rotation and gained that LOR through AMO and the programs that we offer actually have an 80% higher chance of matching. So what can we say? We make it easy and we make it stronger for you. All right, we are now at that Q&A section. If anybody had any questions, I do see we have a few Q&As here posted. So I am going to, this is the time to really just kind of throw those questions at me. I will go one by one, answer them. And then if we have time at the end, and there are some questions that may not have been answered, I'll go ahead and post some of them and answer them myself as well. All right, we have our first question from Alia. What type of rotation can we get after completing step 1? Well, it really depends. As a student, you actually are not required to have step 1 completed for most of the programs, whether it be hands-on or observership. However, as a graduate coming to the United States, you will be required to have step 1 completed in order to attend a hands-on rotation. However, you can then attend an observership without that as a graduate. I know that might be slightly confusing, but if you did have further questions about that and wanted to confirm your own status and your eligibility, don't hesitate to reach out to me, jeff@amopportunities.com, and I can answer that with you and discuss how we should move forward. Sahina, thanks for your question. How long prior do we need to apply before actual rotation starts? We typically recommend that you apply at least 3 to 4 months in advance so that you have time to complete all payments, upload all your documents, and arrange any accommodations that you will need as you arrive. However, we do open registration 12 months ahead of time. So if you really wanted to get a head start and plan ahead, you can even go 5, 6, 7 months in advance as well. Another question from Sahina about that step 1 score. Yes, you can apply without a step 1 score as long as you are a student, or if you're a graduate for looking for hands-on, you will need step 1. And then what type of US visa will we need to obtain to attend these rotations? All we need is the typical B1, B2 visitor, or what they also call a tourist visa. And that's all we can, that's all we need. And we can actually help you obtain that visa quicker with our invitation letters that you can then send to the embassy and apply for that emergency visa. That is the only type of visa that we can offer support for. Victor, thank you for your question. About the LOR, preceptors automatically write us the LOR, or should we ask? And if so, what is the precise time to ask for the LOR? That's a great question, and I did talk about that very briefly in the presentation. The preceptors, they don't have to write you a letter of recommendation. They are merit-based. However, if you communicate with them early and you are showing that you're performing very well, they will write you that letter. And again, it's merit-based. So what they write about you is based on your performance. So talking about timing again, right at the very beginning, when you first meet them, try to get that one-on-one conversation, discuss what you're hoping to gain from this letter of recommendation and their experience. That's a very good question. All right, and then do the academic and hospital affiliations of the preceptors impact the weight of the LOR? And that is one of those questions that I'm happy to answer again. Yes, it does impact the weight ever so slightly. However, the biggest weight that is changed with an LOR is your performance again. So whatever is written about you is going to have more weight over whether it's an academic or hospital affiliation. While it is helpful, I will not discount that, it is not nearly as important as what was previously conceived. Alia, thank you for your question. How many hours per week does a typical rotation take? You can actually consider a typical rotation like a full-time job for the 4 weeks that you are attending. Each program will have a different schedule, but typically they will be, I'd say 8 and 9 a.m. in the morning, all the way through till about 4 to 5 in the evening, at least 4 days a week. So that is kind of what you would expect. However, if you had more specific questions and wanted to delve deeper into that, I would recommend reaching out to an advisor like me so that we can discuss that one-on-one and take a look at any of the programs that you may be interested in. Victor again, can I apply to STEP in my home country, or do I have to travel to the US for it? You can take your steps in your home country without having to come to the US, and it may actually be more beneficial for you to complete those before coming. However, as a student, it is not required, and as a graduate, it would be required for hands-on rotations. Kareem, your question is, I can't travel as a medical student because my country doesn't allow travel for males until they finish their military service. So the question is, can I get a hands-on clinical rotation, or can I apply for observership as an international graduate? That's an interesting question. What I would recommend, if you are not able to travel, to take a look at our virtual options for rotations. We do offer virtual rotations that will grant you that letter of recommendation. That again holds the same weight as if you were to rotate in person. And that may be a better option for you if you cannot travel, or if you would like, we can wait until after your military service to rotate if you really wanted that hands-on option. but I would highly recommend taking a look at those virtual options, because you would rather get your experiences done as soon as you can, as opposed to waiting and having done nothing towards it for, say, 1 to 2 years. Adam, thank you for your question. Do we get to see what is written on the LOR? It is not recommended to view what is written on the LOR before it is submitted. And that is because if it is viewed by the person receiving it, it will be less strong, it'd be invalidated, and it could be tampered with. So it would be better if you do not view it and you kind of just go with it. Victor, one more thing. During the interview at the airport with the cops, while we were arriving and they asked us what we're going to do in the US, should we say we're coming to study even with the B1 visa? I would not recommend that you say that you're coming to study, because the B1 visa is a visitor visa, a tourist visa. What you'll want to say is that you are here for with your emergency visa, because you have prior plans for a rotation. And really, if you do say that that you have your emergency visa for a clinical rotation, it will pass. Hamza, thank you for your question. Can you provide the slides for the webinar for best health? This webinar is recorded, so if you wanted to come back and view the slides and listen to the questions and answers again, you will have access to that. However, your best bet, if you wanted more in-depth questions answered, or even one-on-one conversations, I recommend reaching out to me, Jeff, at amopportunities.org, and I can then have that one-on-one conversation with you. Kareem, again, can I get a hands-on rotation, or can I apply for observership as an international graduate? You can apply for hands-on or observerships, but again, if you are restricted from traveling, that virtual option may be the best way to go. And again, if I'm not answering your questions as clearly as you'd prefer me to, please reach out to me. My email again is jeff@amopportunities.org, and I will be able to speak with you directly and maybe even schedule a call one-on-one. Alia with a question. In my opinion, would you complete step 2 CK, then do rotations, or would you do it the other way around? I would actually recommend trying to rotate before you complete step 2. Oftentimes, what you learn and the experiences that you gain will help you with your step 2 later on. So I would say you can rotate at any time. I would recommend either before or after step 1, though. All right, and then Jessica, how many LORs do you recommend for us to have in order to have a strong CV? You will be required to have at least 3 LORs for your application, and at least 3 meaning you can have even more if you want to build your CV even stronger. But 3 is typically what the sweet spot will be. Adam, with the where do we get the LORs sent to? That is a very good question. You will be having the preceptor send them to the ERAS, and that is how they'll be submitting those LORs for your applications using the ID that you'll be sending them. All right. It doesn't look like we have any more questions in the Q&A. Thank you so much for posing all of those questions for me. I hope I was able to answer them. We do still have time, so I do have a few other questions on my list that I can pose as we go here. If any more questions do come up, do not hesitate to throw them in the Q&A section, and I will answer them. All right. One of the questions that I did kind of brush over in answering is, what's the most important part of an LOR? The most important part, again, is going to be the content that is written about you. Not as much whether it's a university or hospital letterhead, but it's going to be what exactly the physician writes within it, the content. And to make sure that is the strongest part, it is all based on performance. I have another question. Are letters of recommendations, so do they have to be from a US physician? And yes, to gain the strongest letter for your US residency match, you will want a letter from a US physician from a program here in the United States. Kareem has a question for me. What is my performance should be like in order to get a good LOR in a virtual rotation or even a physical one? That's a good question. The first bits that I would recommend: show up on time, dress professionally according to the dress code that is provided, be attentive, take notes. These are all things that you can do at least to show that you are dedicated, you are there to learn, to gain the experience. If I'm not yet, and this is a question from Adam, if I'm not yet applying for the match, can I still get an LOR and use it for later? Yes, you still can rotate, gain your LORs, gain your experience, and they don't really expire. The longer it goes, though, the less strong the letter will be, as with any time, it will be farther and farther away. However, if you are just going to hold off for maybe a year or so, getting the LOR now may be your best bet. Samina, with any tips you want to give to the ones who are going to give their step one? If you want to hold off on taking step one and rotate first, you can certainly do that. I don't have the best advice on how to take that step one, but what we would recommend is, if you want to take the time to focus on step one, go ahead and do that. I've got another question from my list that I'll ask. What is the deadline to submit my LORs for the year's match? The match deadline is around September, near the end of September. So you will want to have all of your LORs submitted if you wanted to match for this year, and then get your result by March. So September is about that deadline time. Did we have any more questions? I know there are a few of you here I haven't seen any questions from. So hopefully, if I talk to all of you by email or WhatsApp, you all know what you're doing. You all know what kind of LOR you're going to get, how to get the best one. Do we have combined internal medicine and pediatrics rotations? Typically, our rotations will be one specialty at a time. However, some of the hospitals or clinics that we work with will have multiple experiences offered. However, likely you will have to book them separately. Say, if you want internal medicine first, you would have to book that internal medicine rotation for 1 month, and then book a pediatrics rotations, maybe even at the same location, for another month. But by and large, you will be rotating one specialty at a time. Hamza, about WhatsApp, yes. If WhatsApp is the easiest for you to communicate through, we do have WhatsApp. And if you reach out to me at jeff@aimopportunities.org, I will be able to provide you my WhatsApp number and we can communicate through there. Thank you for that question, Hamza. Actually, if you give me one moment, I'm gonna try to pull up my WhatsApp phone number. Right, and then Kareem, just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, Kareem. I hope I've been helpful and I've been able to answer all of your questions clearly enough. And yeah, if you have more questions or just wanted to discuss personally, privately, you can reach out to me, jeff@amopportunities.org via email, and then my WhatsApp message did just get posted in our chat here. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I don't bite, and I'm excited to help you all get your experiences done and your LORs earned. Any more burning questions about LORs or letters of recommendation from anybody? Alia, thank you so much for attending. Victor, thank you. Thank you. And Samina, we're about to send over my WhatsApp number to you. All right. Samina, were you able to see the WhatsApp phone number? Just wanted to confirm. All right, perfect, Samina. That's great to hear. It won't actually be a WhatsApp group. It will just be one-on-one messaging with me on WhatsApp, and I'll be able to answer any questions and discuss with you your needs for clinical rotations and then answering any further questions. Thank you so much, Hamza. You're making me blush. Did anybody else need the WhatsApp phone number? Hopefully you all can see it in the chat. Adam, you are very welcome. Hope to connect with you about your rotation soon. Not to worry, Alia, we'll get you my phone number. Awesome. You're all gonna make my phone ring like a celebrity. Am I right? I'm excited. All righty. Well, if we don't have any further questions and my phone number and email address have been sent out to everyone that wants it, I will then be closing down our webinar today. If you do have further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, either jeff@amopportunities.org, or if you wanted another advisor, you don't like Jeff, you can go to advisors@amopportunities.org as well. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you out there. Take care, everybody.